Hey, how's it going? My name is Daniel Beckworth with BEK Networks. Today I'm joined by one of my good pals from the industry, Ridge Faust. Ridge, how are you doing today, sir?
Daniel, if I was any better, I'd be you. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Living the dream over here in Alabama. How are things out there in Arkansas?
They're finally warming up after the snow apocalypse, so I can't complain right now.
Yeah, you guys shut down quite a bit.
Oh yeah, Texas and Arkansas, it was bad last week, but we survived, thankfully.
Yeah, you guys got hammered pretty good. We shut the whole state down in Alabama if there's a light dusting of snow or if someone mentions ice. So we had a nice little break.
Oh yeah, we're very similar.
Well, Ridge, today we're going to talk about contact center. You're over at Five9, which is one of the kings of that industry. So before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about you. How long you've been in telecom, and what your experience has been like in the industry.
Of course. Yeah, so I've worked at various SaaS companies and technology organizations like Hewlett Packard, um, and been with Ring Central as well. So have a good UCAS and CCAS background, and been with Five9 now for a little over 2 quarters. So a little newer, but jumping right in and really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You've got a lot of experience in the industry. One of my favorite reps to work with Gruesome Twosome. Just bring us in and let us help with all of your problems. So let's talk
That's
about
right.
Five9s. Tell us about the company. What's it like?
The grass is definitely greener. I love it here at Five9 from a cultural perspective. But high level, what Five9 does is we make the software that companies use to interact with their customers. And we're completely cloud based, so there's no hardware required at all. And we've been doing this for a really long time, Daniel, about 20 years now. So it's a very mature product, if you will. And we have a ton of expertise and knowledge around contact center.
Yeah, 20 years is a long time to be cloud first. There are a lot of vendors in this
Exactly.
space that are fly by night that are extremely new to cloud technologies. And there's a lot of pain points and issues that arise because these companies are a little bit newer to the space or they've delayed their entry into that market. And you guys have been doing it for a long, long time. And that's why Gartner and just the marketplace recognizes you as one of the premier leaders in this space. So let's talk about your portfolio. What does Five9 do really well? Why would a customer come to you guys, and what would they be asking for?
Of course. So there's really nothing we cannot do from a contact center or a call center technology perspective. The things we don't do, Daniel, are CRM or unified communications on the telephony side. But we are an open API platform, so we can integrate with those. We have a lot of out of the box integrations for especially a lot of the big names. But what we do is we're going to handle your customers' interactions from any source, whether that's voice, chat, email, social, SMS, you name it. We're going to process those interactions and deliver them to the right resource, whether they're in-house agents, outsourced, working from home, located anywhere in the world, you name it. And we do so on an inbound and an outbound basis. Think of, callbacks to your customers, or if you're doing an outbound campaign, you need to switch the gates over and focus on inbound to help with that extra traffic that's coming in. The key is to have really one engine that's going to manage both the inbound and the outbound. And the beauty here is we're really going to help your agents to be a lot more proactive and productive, if you will. So we can push work out to your idle agents or distribute work out to your agents. So if you want them talking and working for 45 minutes out of every hour, we can help you to do that. And then we have great things like our management applications. So a full suite of workforce optimization, workforce management, reporting, analytics, quality management, you name it. We're going to help you to schedule your agents more appropriately based on those higher levels of activity, better train and coach and mentor these agents so they can be the best at their positions possible and ultimately provide a stronger customer experience. And then
Yeah.
Daniel, we're really enhancing these solutions with some of the buzzwords like artificial intelligence or machine learning, if you will. We have a workflow engine called Genius. And the cool thing here is instead of your agents having to go and really retrieve and fetch that data, our system's going to be able to get it for them. And then I'm not sure if you're familiar with IVAs or intelligent virtual agents, but these are really, hot right now, if you will. They can handle any tasks that your physical or real life agents can do, but they're really more for those basic, mundane, repetitive tasks. And they're helping people be a lot more proactive as well with outreaches.
Well, Ridge, I just want to say you crushed that elevator pitch. That was right on the money. You knocked that out of the park, man. You know your product backwards and forward. That's fantastic. Let's talk through a couple of those items. So, what we've experienced as a consultant for contact centers, and one of the things that's been hot for us is that we'll come in and observe your contact center and see how you're performing today, and then we'll talk about efficiencies that we can build into your solution to make it better, so that your members or your support agents have lower call times. You're answering questions in a much more efficient or fast manner, and information is more accessible across the board. So there's a lot of things that we do in that space, and there is a huge shift of going from the traditional on-prem based contact center solution, which is it doesn't have a lot of reporting or analytics typically. There's a huge shift if you move from that product to a cloud first solution like Five9. It's a night and day difference, and you're opening up the potential for your customers to be able to reduce their hold times, become more efficient, and you're going to help them make more money, which is incredible.
Exactly.
It's really a night and day difference, and it's been one of our favorite solutions to talk through because our customers experience such growth and such change over that period of time. And you guys are one of the leaders in this space, and you're really doing a great job. Your support's great, your implementation is great, your ability to size a solution for customers is right on the money. So let's go a little bit more in depth and talk about this. Why would a customer choose Five9 over one of your competitors in the space? What makes you different?
Sure. And Daniel, if you really think about it, you could take a customer's requirements and pass them out to every contact center vendor, on-prem, cloud-based out there. Some form or fashion, they're going to be able to say, yes, we can check those boxes and meet those requirements. But let's be honest, the contact center is, both you and I know, is very mission critical and a huge focus for the business. So with that being said, what really differentiates Five9 is our reliability. It's our technology and open API platforms, and it's our ability to design, implement, and support our customers better than anyone else in the world. And we can actually prove that stat there.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, Ridge. Again, right on the money. We see those issues with our customers on a regular basis where providers initially want to say that, yeah, we can check all these boxes, but at the end of the day, they don't have the built-in features, or what's been the bigger issue is they don't own those features end to end, and it creates a lot of issues for our customers when they try and integrate or when they try and push those changes out to their users. And the contact center represents one of the most important aspects of a company's business, because I don't know what data is more important than your customer data and understanding what your customers need and want. How are you going to make critical business decisions if you're not picking through the data of what your customers need? And a solution like yours is allowing customers, businesses, to make intelligent decisions and
Exactly.
to touch base with their customers in more efficient ways. So let's talk through some of the changes and some of the big trends that we're going to notice in 2021. So we're coming out of 2020, which was a really great year for everybody. Really loved the pandemic. That was a lot of fun. Through the pandemic, we saw call volumes go through the roof. They're up year over
Skyrocketing.
year. Yeah, they're sky high right now. But what's also unique is we've seen all medians or all channels for customer contact also go up. So voice is up, SMS, chat, email, all channels are going through the roof right now. And we know that voice is important. That's an important aspect of contact center. And you guys are implementing AI and machine learning so that you're able to analyze 100% of calls, flag any issues so that you can improve upon that and train and coach on the fly right then and there. But what are some of the other trends that you're seeing and important things that contact center agents and supervisors need to look out for?
You hit it right on the head, Daniel. That inbound traffic, whether it's, voice, whatever channel you can think of, people and customers are engaging companies more than they ever have. Contact center is now the new front door, if you will. So this is how people are interacting with companies and with customers back and forth. And with that being said, before the pandemic, everyone knew what those levels of activity were like, and they had the staffing in place to handle those levels of activity. Now, post-pandemic, people are not they weren't set up for success, unfortunately. Who could have predicted this? And they don't have the personnel in place, the amount of agents in place to handle all those additional inbound tasks. So what we're really seeing right now in the contact center industry, what customers are trying to do is instead of trying to throw more and more agents and having to hire those agents, train them, recruit them, hope that they don't leave as well and that they can do the job well. Instead of taking those agents to do those basic, repetitive, mundane tasks, use automation for it. Those intelligent virtual agents, it's going to be the IVR of the future, if you will. And our inference acquisition is unlike anything else out there, Daniel. You can try and look at others that do this type of automation, and they're not even in the same sport or league, if you will. So it's truly powerful. So think of, if you're a financial institution, you've got people calling in, I need to change my password. I need to check my balances, things along these lines. I need, report a lost or stolen credit card. Your agents are tied up, they're busy. You want them focused on important tasks instead of these basic, repetitive, mundane ones that can be knocked out with automation. And it's a fraction of the cost, if you will, too.
It's cheaper than having a live agent. It's easier to train because you don't have to train it, and you can retain it much easier as well, right? So there's a lot of aspects of that make it easier. It's hard to schedule enough agents during a time like the pandemic, and it's hard to understand how things are going to impact traffic and trends. So, for example, we saw call center volume spike when the stimulus checks went out, and things like that are happening, and it's hard to understand or gauge the staffing requirements for a contact center during a period of time like this. But you mentioned the mundane or repetitive task. We see that a ton of contact center traffic or volume is focused around those simple tasks or questions that are easily repetitive. So if it's a financial institution, the question is generally, what's my balance or what's my recent transactions? Those are simple tasks that we don't have to connect an agent to necessarily. Now, we have some customers that may push back and say, well, we like that person-to-person feel. And I agree. I like a person-to-person interaction when I can get it. But I would rather talk to an intelligent virtual agent and do it immediately rather than being on hold for 20 minutes trying to get a live person. So we can make things much more efficient, and the scores for your contact center will go through the roof when you implement solutions like this. It's a win-win across the board for everybody. And one of the other things that you mentioned previously when you talked through Five9's portfolio is workforce optimization. So you guys can generate reporting and analytics that can show contact center supervisors how many agents they need to plan for and provide in the contact center. And they'll analyze trends across time to help give you that information. So rather than guessing how many agents you should have, a solution like yours can help customers know exactly how many agents they need to staff at any given time. So there's a lot of unique things that you guys are doing to automate this and just make things more efficient. So again, you're going to help customers save money on the operational side of the house, and you're going to help them bring more revenue through the door.
Exactly. And Daniel, I'd just like to make a quick statement. And it is never meant to replace human agents. That's not the goal at all. Yeah. That is not what we're trying to do. These are highly skilled, highly trained, highly paid agents. These are the backbone of your company. The automation is just to alleviate those basic things so they can focus on the important ones.
Yeah. So Ridge, that's a great point. For every contact center migration that we've worked on, no company has ever reduced the amount of agents that they have. Whenever they introduce all these automation tools.
Agreed.
What it allows them to do is to invest more in training for those agents. And we notice that agent score continues to go up over time. We give them more tools and they're able to utilize those tools over time. That business grows and that agent becomes more efficient. And we know that if you give an employee the tools that they need to be successful, you're more likely to retain them over time. So we know a huge issue inside of contact centers is just retaining staff. When we move people to a solution like Five9, your retention rate for those agents goes through the roof because you're giving them the tools that they need and they're more satisfied in that workplace.
And if you do work from home environments, now your recruiting base is across the country, across the globe. So you can recruit top talent, retain top talent instead of just who's available to come into the office locally.
Yeah, that's right.
Really
And
powerful.
great point. So we need to end on this. This solution can work in a contact center, at home, on the road, wherever you are. If you've got internet connectivity and you can jump on the Five9 app, you can be a contact center agent from anywhere in the world. It's a unique experience that feels just like you're sitting inside of that contact center. You can work from anywhere at any time.
Exactly.
Awesome. Ridge, really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. It's great working with you as always. In closing, for a conclusion, let me just say that at BEK Networks, we love helping customers be successful. It's our favorite thing in the world. My goal as a provider, as a partner, is that I want to help customers like you save money on your operational expenses. I want to help you bring more revenue through the door. And I want to make your life easier. And we work with great partners like Ridge at Five9 to make that happen. If you have a contact center need, if you just want to reach out for an assessment or ask more questions, you can hit me up at dbeckworth@beknetworks.com. That will be in the description. And please give Ridge a big high five virtually for sitting in on this. Ridge, we love you. Thank you so much for the partnership, and we look forward to working with you again in the future. Thanks, dude.
It's an honor, Daniel. Thank you for having me.